Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague live here from the Monster Energy DreamHack studios. And we're back after the second game of our finals of our fourth main qualifier. And, well, Brood, after a couple of musical lanes, Brood ended up with a lane that he wanted. And I don't think that was a good thing for Vega Squadron.
Didn't seem like it. The Dagon solo pickoffs on Enchantress.
Painful.
Literally imploded.
It's actually pretty fun to see how Dagon, even late game, can actually be still a pretty good item. And how he just used it for example, when he went on Luna, he just tried to get it off before he could get BKB off. And when Luna was able to react, he was like at 200 HP. And
it's like, why do I even BKB?
Yeah, I don't need to use BKB. I'm dead anyways.
Bulba might have accidentally saved Dragon Knight top when they were pushing with the Ethereal Blade. It was a bit rough. Honestly, I think this is down to the draft, though, and the heroes that Vega picked. Like, if you give Seema the Slayer like quite a defensive hero like Shadow Demon, and you give Mag like Tidehunter like a big long cooldown Ravage, you know they're not going to be able to get the solo pickoffs like they did in game one, and that's one of the reasons why they won the first game. Like, so
You can't make as many plays.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe, what do you think if they go more kind of? What hero would replace Beastmaster? Say Beastmaster's first ban. Like,
Well, they banned out Centaur and Axe, so that was the thought for Team Tinker to be the replacement for Beastmaster.
I would like to use this opportunity to rant about Broodmother, because, I don't know, I think it's the worst designed hero in Dota, and that's kind of, in a way, a positive thing to say about Dota, because all the heroes are so well designed. But Brood, he can just, like, he can shut down a lane so hard. And the thing is, every time I meet Brood, it's this guy that fifth picks it, and then we don't have the heroes able to shut it down. And it wrecks our safe lane completely, and it can just ruin a game completely when someone last picks Brood.
Well, that's what happened. Although they picked it fourth, and a Tidehunter was still picked after that to try and deal with the Brood. But as I said, I mean, Brood started out in off lane, realized he was up against a Tide, went top. Tide went top as well. Brood realized he was up against a Tide, went back bottom. Tide just decided,
screw this, you win, Bulba. These TP scrolls, they're too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they should have changed again? Like, at what point do you stop your musical lanes?
I'm not sure. It's a kind of funny scenario if two teams just keep saying, well, we want this lane, but we don't want that lane, and they just can't keep switching it around. We usually see that after a few switch up, one of the teams will go, fine, we will give you that, because it's kind of expensive. You have to keep buying TPs. And
you lose farm if you move your supports back and forth as well. But was it the right, like in this case, would you say change again?
Honestly, I guess it favors Team Tinker, because Vega have only one support to rotate, and Team Tinker have a jungler. So therefore, you're kind of winning.
Yeah, because Enchantress was...
Yeah, Enchantress can just use the creeps to roam, though. He doesn't.
Yeah, but he started out top.
Yeah, he doesn't mind so much, though.
Yeah. Could have been. They could have... Maybe they could have rotated bottom again, but... I mean, in the end, was it Brood that actually won them the game? You say yes? You say Brood banned this time?
What about the Slasher's Way Windrunner? Like, I thought that was... This is your advertising.
Yes.
Yeah, but I couldn't say it myself.
I got you. I got you.
But one of the problems also was that Enchantress got shut down pretty hard. I think she died when she went offensive jungle.
She did not die then, but that was only because Black was
that level 1 clutch play. Yeah, that was sick.
And then she went to her Radiant, her own jungle afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Brood came and like all the supports came in and they ganked her. It's she had a kind of impact later. But she had a really, really bad start, and I don't think she really was that involved in like smoking again.
Honestly, I think if Solo didn't get picked off at the end of the game, they probably could have defended it.
I actually, like, I was listening to the cast at that point more than I was watching the game, and I heard Dresco say, well, you know, it's going actually pretty well, and, you know, they're getting momentum, and then Solo gets picked off. Well, I just said that Solo was doing really well, and then Solo dies. Caster's Curse struck again.
Andy cursed him.
Andy cursed him.
That was really weird, because when you defend, like, one of the best things about that is that high ground advantage.
Yeah.
But he blinked actually up at a point where Team Tinker actually had a high ground advantage. And then he kind of used this weird Ravage, and it just started going really bad.
Yeah, there were a couple of other moments of action in the game, and we have selected one moment of action for you for Shanalytics and a drawing board.
Welcome to the drawing board. So I've selected this kind of hectic fight at around 20 minutes. And basically, this is when Team Tinker have both an Aegis and a Wraith King ulti, and we're about to see the power of that. All right, so straight away, Wei2 is right at the front line and goes on no one. Gets instantly disrupted. Okay, so black is like, this is the dream. If you're Enchantress, this is actually the dream. There's nobody they're going to be able to close distance on you, and it's just like, okay, let's do the deeps. Okay, black is like, oh crap. Do you think you forget about it? Like in the split second, you forget about the impetus damage actually, like
going through BKB.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. Okay, and then Mag walks in and gets.
He still lives though.
Yeah, he still lives. But I think if Solo
he
actually,
also doesn't get hit by the
if Solo threw an impetus and then walked backwards, it probably could have killed him. Oh, the gem got out of range. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's really a chaotic team fight. Like
it's so. Qualifier still has Aegis at this point as well, and he gets some really nice shackles off. Oh my god. It's mental team fight actually. Then Bulba's just kind of like spidering. He's getting, honestly, no one played pretty well on Dragon Knight, I thought, in that game. He went in and out with these team fights, got some really nice stuns and initiations off. And then this is a shackle of destiny here from Qualifier. Like sometimes the range is just ridiculous, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. Nah, the range, you know, I could be okay with the range. Sometimes the angles.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. And then they run away. They get the no one gets out again. Even though they've gone on him twice at this stage. And Mag, he's been up in the middle of the fight with his max, like, Craggy. It's insane, like, what?
Kraken Shell.
Kraken Shell. Got buffed, of course. This is a shackle that I was expecting to like. This is a good one.
This is a beautiful shackle.
They're more nice and lined up.
Then Black gets off this beautiful ulti. And how can he focus fire so much in teamfights? Was it because of his item build, Slasher?
Yeah, I guess he has the off cooldown again, then he can just do it.
And he was really tanky as well.
For people that missed the punny there, that is of course Slasher's way, go Aghanims first.
And then he gets I think he predicts this power shot, like power shots over this way is actually...
It's actually so confusing when we talk about no one, because I keep thinking like, no one that's...
Yeah, when they're introducing the players, and I'm like, no one's playing the Dragon Knight, I'm like, what?
What's going on?
What went wrong there? No, of course, I mean, both teams now have won a game. What does either team need to do to win?